YouTube, what the crap's going on? Skarsnik welcomes you back to his little greenskin wa, where I still only have one province, really? Wow, this has been a crazy one. I definitely could have done better here. Looks like we're pretty close to the top of our fightiness meter, though, so hopefully we can score another army. So I'm going to do a little bit different type of thing here. This is going to be the first episode, and I'm not sure how many of these, if I'll keep doing them. I just want to kind of get your thoughts. I'm going to try out a little bit different type of format, so I'm going to record as I do this, though I may summarize some of the campaign map piece. And then, rather than doing the video where I fight the battle live, I'm going to do replays. So to try and make a more cinematic, more summarized campaign experience. Some of you may like this traditional type of playthrough, and if that's the case, I can always do stuff like this, but I wanted to try something new and bring it to the table, and if no one likes it, it's fine. It's not going to be the end of the world for me, but just figured this might be fun to try and create something a little bit new. I'm going to keep trying to level up this this goblin big boss here since we get so many buffs. Stalker, slapped by Mork. I've definitely got him all leveled up as an assassin, which is nice. Additional 2 wall breaches. Well, that actually could be really helpful to try and get through an enemy settlement real quick without having to carry around siege equipment. You can get extra income from buildings. That could also be pretty sweet. And then a reduction in corruption, which, again, all of these could be handy. Let's go with Inspector for now. Alright. I can't move anymore for this turn, so let's go ahead and end it. That's a pretty large army of Clan Angrand out there. Skarsnik's Prodder. Carry out a successful assassination attempt against one lord belonging to the Dwarf realms. Well, let's see if we can get a lucky one right here.
Yes, boss.
Rorek Redmane. Oh, there we go. How about that? Alright, so the next one... Oh, I should have read that. I can go back and read it, though. It says, while the Stunnies are distracted by the loss of their pathetic lord, Skarsnik's forces storm through the peaks, raiding and destroying anything in sight. This is Skarsnik's way, a method tempered throughout years of dealing with power-hungry orcs that have tried to take his throne. Perceive the threat, then utterly destroy the foe before it can act against you. We need to raise or sack 3 dwarf settlements. So that'll be our next objective here. Got some rebels behind us. Let's go ahead and take care of the rebels. This may save Karl Franz temporarily. I'm gonna eat the leftovers from that battle. Actually, this is not Karl Franz. I'm gonna go ahead and get back into the settlement, try and get maximum replenishment. We've already leveled this guy up here. He's leveling up extremely quick. Thinking about... Yeah, I'm going to go with Inspector. I'm going to fill up that Inspector so we can potentially... This is Belagar Iron Hammers out here. Wow, look at all those Rangers and Bolt Throwers. That's a redonkulous spam. It's a good thing I'd have a few Squigs and an Arachnor. I don't know, man. That'd be dangerous, that many Bolt Throwers. Let's see. I've got Ambusher, so I can Vanguard deploy. The Nasty Skulker. Like all Nasty Skulkers, this boss, a bad piece of work. When he stabs, he really means it. Weapon strength plus 10%. I like that. When he stabs, this guy means it, folks. He's not joking. Wow, so what savages? Wow, just for melee infantry? Holy crap. That's a huge buff. I like it. So we got the Gobos, and then if we roll through the savages... Wow, yeah, we can do some pretty serious damage, and that get back gear could be pretty helpful as well. There's some nice upgrades with Skarsnik. That guy definitely has it going on. Okay. Chaos has stirred. Defeat the following. I'll try and defeat him, but it looks like he's running away from me. Let's just kind of cut him off this way. He won't be able to get away from me going that direction. And then, I keep messing with the dwarfs down here, and I'm kind of almost thinking, why not? Let's just keep trying to level this guy up. He leveled up regardless here. So I'll finish off Inspector, and then I'll do Infiltrate. Misdirector, Watcher, Enemy Hero Chances, Guard on Army, Hardy. Yeah, that should be good. Okay. Slide to Backstabber. What did we call our, what did I call my Goblin Big Boss in the last campaign? I need to rename this guy back to that. He gets another one. Let's go ahead and give him Infiltrator. Alright. I remember another guy was Dunghide Stunty Biter. If we can get another Lord recruited.
You're on schemes. I got schemes.
I do like schemes, my friend.
A scheme worthy of Skarsnik.
Let's jump on the other side of this guy real quick, and then let's block the army. That'll slow down their movement chance.
Hawk wants me.
There we go. We've leveled up again with this character. Absolutely ridiculous. So we can add up to 15% more movement range modification from block army. Could be helpful. Could be helpful. But I'm thinking about giving this guy Nasty Skulker. And we'll work on some of the other things, like Gutter Fighter would be helpful. And then Survivalist would also be helpful. So yeah, we'll work on some of that stuff. Hopefully we can get a good battle going here too.
No amount of honor will save.
Okay, I don't know why these idiots want to declare war on me, but if they need a good humbling. Ooh, yeah, now we're talking. Skarsnik is trying to be tricksy. Looks like the Wa army destroyed the rebellion. Let's get this pile of shiny stuff, because I'd like to have enough money to get another stack together. So yeah, the Wa army destroyed the rebellion. Let's get together, and we're going to move down and try and take out Brock Iron Pick. I don't know where he's gone to, but I want to try and quickly unify this province real quick. Is that an Empire army? It is. Right when I'm about to get back down to business, the Balthasar Gelt rolls up, of course. Alright, well, we're going to have to roll back up here and take out Balthasar. And I can't trust my Wa army to come down here alone and take Grimhold, so we're going to have to we're just going to have to double back and come up here and teach Balthasar a lesson. That's okay. This is an episode where I want to get a good cinematic battle, and Balthasar is going to give me that opportunity. I'm going to head underground and try and pop out right next to Balthasar here. My Wa army should get right up next to me. Balthasar may run for it. Yep, he is. I'm sick of this crap, though. I'm not going to let the Empire just sneak up on me every couple of turns like that, so it's time to put a hurt on some of these idiots. We've had another rebellion down here. And then Brock Iron Pick's back. I hate this, man. Just like absolutely going back and forth, back and forth. Empire tries to backstab me. The rebels try and backstab me. It's like everybody always wants a piece of me here. This might not be a good idea to spend this money because they'll probably come in and tear the settlement down, but I'll make my way back down there as quick as I can. You look at that. Balthasar Gelt rolls right back up. Yeah, you can have a peace treaty for now. You're going to get yours, Balthasar. Don't worry, buddy. So we're going to split. I'm going to take my Wa army back up and attack Balthasar.
Boss of them night goblins.
It's not the best army, but nor is Balthasar's army, and with this whole garrison, I think we can take him.
I'm well nasty.
Okay, so the Wa army has a target.
You want schemes? I got schemes.
Okay, and we're gonna go to my army. And we're gonna push down here and take out these greenskin rebels. I can't quite reach them on this turn, so I'm gonna go ahead and just hit Karak Norn to make sure that my building gets finished.
War boss in it. This way.
Yeah, okay, my Wa army chased off Balthasar. Now, alone, I don't think they'll be able to defeat him. But, I mean, my Wa army is a little bit beat up. It's doing pretty good, though. I might like to just chase Balthasar down and see how it does. And then I'm going to take this opportunity to jump into my first battle in this new format. I will enjoy the cinematic battle, because that's what you'll see. Alright, the forces of Skarsnik are arrayed against the Greenskin Rebels outside Karak Norn. Got my Ragnarok Spider. You're going to see some early fight going on here between my Knight Goblin Squig Hoppers and some Goblin Wolf Riders of the Rebels. Should be a pretty nice fight for me. Immediately some of their archers open fire on my men. I say my men, my goblins. More squig action on this flank as my wolves, and I think I have some squigs. Yeah, squigs are going to come in as reinforcements. So squig hopper is going to come in here and perform quite nicely. My main body of nasty skulkers and Skarsnik and Gobla are going to move up. And then I'm moving my Ragnarok along the flank, hoping to get into the side of the enemy formation. My archers are now going to do some return fire on their own. Here comes my Goblin Big Boss. I think that's Sly there coming in. Here comes all my nasty Skulkas. They got some Orc boys and stuff in there too. Here comes Skarsnik and Gobla. Let's see if Gobla is able to gobble up any dinner here. I know he probably prefers dwarfs for dinner. I think I have an attack order on the enemy lord here. Yeah, you can see the Ragnarok Spider moving in, and this battle is pretty quickly going to end. The Greenskin Rebels here just did not have the forces necessary to hold me at bay, so their forces are going to be quickly routed. They were beaten on the flanks, they were beaten in the center, and now my Ragnarok Spider is going to mince up a bunch of these troops who are routing. Yeah, you can see Skarsnik back here, having driven off all their forces, so this is going to be a decisive defeat for the Greenskin Rebels. I'm just running down some of their members here and attempting to kill their lord. Ooh, that one nasty looking spider. So yeah, pretty simple defeat of my enemies here. Didn't expect much. Here's the little devil trying to get away from me. I think I have my Goblin Big Boss. Yeah, yeah, here he comes on the spider. I've got my Goblin Big Boss, and then I'm going to turn around the Ragnarok Spider eventually too. I got some Wolf Riders and other stuff coming in to catch the mutinous Goblin Git who led these rabble against me. So I should be able to catch him here. I thought I was chasing him. Pretty sure that I do turn around and get him eventually. If I remember the battle. I don't know, it was like 10 minutes ago. Who knows, I may have forgotten. These mangy, Morgrub's mangy Marauders are one of the cool looking units. I love those like kind of reddish colored wolves they're riding on. Look awesome. Yeah, okay, now we're going to ride down the mutinous Git who betrayed us. Who is this guy, the Goblin Great Shaman? It doesn't name him on here, unfortunately. It has my guys' names, but it didn't have this guy. Yeah, the Goblin Great Shaman's going to be running, and he's kind of successfully getting away from what's already a rather large spider when an even larger spider sets its sights upon him. And I like that arrow in the back there, too, from the Ragnarok. Oh, jeez. Yeah, this is not going to go down well for this Goblin Great Shaman. He's going to get tossed around all over the place. And this is going to be the end of this battle. So you can see that rebelling against Skarsnik's Greenskins may not be the best. He's always got a plan for how he's going to get you back. You know how he likes plans. He's always saying it. Alright, we defeated those mangy Git rebels. Got some decent loot off of them. And I missed an item that I picked up there too. Giblet Mork's Chosen? What? Picked up the Swift Sword of Slaying, huh? I like that. We unlocked the 8 Peaks Loonies. These are the Night Goblin fanatics that throw out like the little dwarfs. Gained a Shroom Gatherer. And a Pit Boss. Awesome. He gave us more captives to barbecue. Definitely looking forward to that. Let's finish off these filth-mongering Greenskin rebels. Eat their captives.
You need me.
And then I'm going to go ahead and move up and get ready to put a run. Ooh, I don't know, man. The dwarves have got some... they got some strength down here. Balthasar is going to be chased by my Wa army. We'll see whether or not that turns out. It may not. We've got defenses built up. This province is still pretty unhappy. That's kind of to be expected. We can level up Skarsnik 4 points we get there. I'm going to finish the savages, get back here, and then... Wow, more melee attack for Goblin and Night Goblin units? Holy crap. Our Goblins are going to be absolutely ridiculous, except for their... oh, nastier squigs? Are you kidding me? Oh, this just gets better. This just gets better and better. He likes a good plan. I don't know if I have much of a plan other than... Just got a tweet from Prince of Macedon about whether or not Gorbel has a good chance. Gorbel has a great chance in this election because if you don't vote for him, he's going to destroy everybody that you know and love. Wow, we failed? That seems unlikely.
Supreme ruler of 8 peaks.
Alright, let's see what happens with these Empire armies. Could get a little bit dicey here. So Karl Franz is going to attack me. It's actually giving me pretty good chances here, and I'm not sure where they're getting those good chances from, because my army's not very good. And they got all those handgunners and other stuff. They got a Reichsguard. I'm actually thinking about, oh, I get reinforcements. So yeah, my chances are actually fairly decent. They do have the 2 mortars, but I get some Vanguard deploy units as well, I think. These Spider Rider archers. Yeah. I don't know if I get to control which army, but let's fight this, and so it'll be another cinematic battle. All right, so as this battle begins, my Gobos are coming on as reinforcements from kind of the opposite side of the battlefield. So over here you can already see the mortars from the Empire flying, coming down into my Wa army. And my Wa army is controlled by the AI, and they're going to immediately attack this Empire position here. You can see some flagellants. I even believe the Tattersouls are present here. Lots of handgunners and crossbows, and then the 2 mortar units, as well as, well, there's an Outrider, or is that a Pistolier? Outrider here, and I believe there's a Reichsguard present on the battlefield. Yeah, it's right here. So there's a Reichsguard and a Sigmar's Son as well. So plenty of units to get this thing started. Here comes the Arachnarok Spider of the Wa army, as well as some Goblin Fanatics coming straight at it. And the Arachnarok's going to come in, and the Empire troops here actually fail to target the Arachnarok. They're going to start getting chased by these trolls, at least momentarily. They double back, and here you've got Emperor Karl Franz and an Empire captain getting knocked around by all these trolls. Sigmar's Son's moving into that position, and then over here the Reichsguard has decided to chase down some archers. And I am quickly rushing forward my Spider Riders and Wolf Riders, trying to get in to basically help my ally in combat. So let's go into Spider Cam here. You can see there's already some mortar shots screaming overhead. Fortunately, going long. So yeah, here comes my guys charging forward. The Reichsguard, I'm going to send some trolls after them. Wasn't really sure the best way to deal with the Reichsguard. Probably should have just spammed a bunch of my Gabo spears after them, but I go ahead and send some of my trolls in, hoping that they'd be able to do some decent armor-piercing damage here. The trolls have pretty poor leadership, and I don't have a lot of support around, so my trolls are going to take a heck of a lot of damage from the Reichsguard. And immediately, all of my fast movers who get into combat earlier are going to start striking in to the Empire skirmishers. But as I get back here, I can see reinforcements from the Empire marching onto the battlefield. So, looks like Sterling's Revenge or something like that. Oh, no, that's the Silver Bullets, I believe. Yeah, that's the Silver Bullets coming onto the battlefield, so I have to watch out for them. Some of my Wolf Riders in combat here, but they're outmatched. They're outnumbered and too far away from support. Though my Spider Riders have done a great job here of getting into these mortars. And since the Empire has been able to attack the Arachnarok with its missiles, the Arachnarok has been causing immense damage. It's at this point where my main forces, led by this Goblin Big Boss, are able to get ready to join the battle. So I've got a line of Night Goblins pushing in. their poison attacks will be useful, but this army is not buffed by Skarsnik, so there will not be the typical leadership bonuses that one would expect. This is the situation here from an overhead, so you can see the Empire troops pushing in from the back of the map. Relatively balanced on the power bar right now. Karl Franz survived his earlier attack, but now this Arachnarok Spider is going to come in here and push them around, and I'm going to bring in a bunch of goblins and see if we can try and overwhelm the Emperor. Here he got tossed by the Arachnarok. You can see Balthasar is present by the bolts that he's bringing down out there, the magic missiles. So yeah, with the Arachnarok and all my gobos, we're able to swarm Karl Franz up against this rock, and he has nowhere to go. He's going to get pushed around, and he gets pretty quickly surrounded, and he's being attacked by 1,000 poison blades, basically, as well as an Arachnarok, and the Arachnarok's going to really do the damage to him. But you can see the mortar's still firing in, and if they manage to hit my blob of gobos here, it's going to do terrible things to their leadership. There's a ton of skirmishers back here for the Empire. We got the Sterlin's Revenge and the Silver Bullets both, and then there's more handgunners here firing away into my Forest Goblin Spider Riders, and some of my Night Goblins over here taking mortar fire. You can see that the Reichsguard was finally defeated by a bunch of my spearmen, and I'm chasing away some of their Outriders. These units over here, I need to swing these guys back into the combat, and I will. Let's get another cinematic look. The whole idea of this is to get you more cinematic action here. So as you can see, trolls up here on the front line doing some damage. Up against quite a few spears, though. My Night Goblins fighting the Tattersouls here, and the Tattersouls getting hit by missile fire. The Arachnarok is still very much alive, and my army of Fanatics is trying to get Karl Franz as he is routing. And you can see that now the mortars start to land in my vicinity, and this is going to have terrible effects on the leadership of my fairly squishy Night Goblins. And you can see that the chain route starts to get pretty real here, at least the chain waver. I'm going to bring in my Goblin Big Boss to try and slow down some of this Empire infantry here. See if I can get their attention and pin them in place. More mortars screaming in, landing amidst my troops over here, so the mortars are definitely taking their toll. And I do believe it's about this time that I remembered my Spider Riders, and so those mortars will have their time in this existence numbered, because my Forest Goblin Spider Riders have kind of locked onto the scent here and are moving in. So yeah, these mortar batteries are about to get wrecked. I love this cinematic feel of this game. Warhammer has some of the coolest cinematics that we've seen in Total War. Gives me really high hopes for the upcoming historical titles, so should be awesome to see what they can do with what they did in this game. 64-bit engine, a bunch of the other things, really going to be great. Balthasar Gelt is over here, and he is barely alive. Karl Franz gets taken out by the rest of my forces, but Balthasar is going to call some more Lore of Metal magic to try and aid his troops, but it's probably going to be too little and too late for Balthasar here. See, I've got Wolf Riders in the vicinity chasing down Empire troops, and Wolf Riders now chasing Balthasar, and he's on foot, doesn't have his trusty steed or Pegasus to get away, so Balthasar is backstabbed by a goblin, and you can see that the rout of the Empire is completed. All right, and as you saw, we gained a key victory there, picked up a crap load of loot. The Ruby Ring of Ruin. I don't know what that is, but it sounds great. It's going to get picked up by one of my guys there. I don't even know who gets to, or maybe it just goes into my overall. We're going to eat the captives. So Karl Franz gets wounded. Balthasar Gelt gets wounded. Both armies driven away. Back into their own lands. So I would say that was pretty successful. And then I'm going to get an underground interception of Brock the Kin Lord. So let's make sure we give him a good solid destruction. Welcome to the underways of the old world, where Skarsnik's army is going to be fighting underground versus Brock Ironpick, the dwarf. So here's my armies. The army's led by Skarsnik. I've got 3 goblin archers leading the way. Behind them I've got my Night Goblins and Night Goblin Fanatics. There's Skarsnik and Gobla, and then in the second line I've got my nasty Skulkas, which are going to be my armor-piercing infantry for follow-up work. And then along this flank I have my Squigs and Wolf Riders. I'm going to sneak along this edge of the map, and then on the opposite flank I've got my Arachnarok Spider, which will be moving in, and again, going to work the flank. My idea here is for Skarsnik to tackle Brock Ironpick, and Mr. Ironpick here is standing out in front of his army. There is a huge line of quarrelers, and they are about to start unleashing dwarfen grudges all over my gobos, and then there's a big line of dwarf warriors with a few miners. So I'm up against a huge number of dwarfs here. Now fortunately I've got some massive buffs on my goblins from Skarsnik, so I've given my archers targeting orders. I'm moving up with my night goblins. I've given attack orders to all my nasty skulkers on the dwarf warriors, and I'm going to move in and engage the enemy. I try to use some of my night goblin abilities, but they seem to kind of get screwed up on these underground maps because of the terrain. Not sure what's going on there. Yeah, you can see combat being drawn up here. I'm going to use some of the special abilities for Skarsnik. And then my Ragnarok immediately makes it to the flank and is going to plow in. It's very dark on this map, so you're going to have to just deal with that because it's an underground map. And then all of my Squig Hoppers and Wolf Riders are working to this flank. And you can see them kind of making their way over this terrain, and they're going to plow into all these quarrelers. Squig Hoppers will be a lot more effective. I'm going to work one Squig Hopper around this brawl, and I'm going to bring it over here to relieve the Arachnarok of its duties from killing skirmishers, because I really need the Arachnarok in the main engagement. It's a pretty tight engagement, and Skarsnik and Gobbler are fighting directly against Brock Ironpick, and he is faring pretty well. You can see I'm going to run a rear charge with my Spider. Spider's going to cause a little bit of damage, and then I'll immediately get out of there. My archers are trying to work down individual units of quarrelers who are in the center, away from my melee cavalry. And once I noticed that Skarsnik was in need of help against Ironpick, I'm going to bring the Arachnarok over this way to help out. You can see the Arachnarok working its way through the dwarf line over there, easily squishing through. And Ironpick gets a nice bite in the back. That's going to be itchy for a while. So he's in some pretty serious trouble. Otherwise, in the fight, you can see my... Well, you can barely see it because it's dark. You can see my nasty Skulkas fighting against all these dwarfs, using Skarsnik's abilities the best I can. And my Squig Hoppers and Wolves, some of my Wolves actually kind of routed, but my Squig Hoppers and others are helping carry on this fight. And I've got another Squig Hopper unit over here who got into more Quarrelers. Quarrelers are a little bit tough to take out for light Goblin Cavalry. But you can see that because we were able to defeat Brock Ironpick, who is now being very, very brave like a dwarf and running from the battle. I have Skarsnik and Gobbler chasing him. Gobbler gave him a good bite, but I'm going to turn Skarsnik around and go back to support the mainline fight with his morale buffs, and I'm going to use the Spider to run down Ironpick for the moment because the fight is actually pretty good for me. Now that the Quarrelers can't impact it, my nasty Skulkas with all the boost from Skarsnik are going to help do immense damage. And you can see Skarsnik making his way back into the main battle lines here with Gobbler. And they're going to hopefully get back in here and take out some dwarfs. Meanwhile, in the background, my Squigs are mopping up against the Quarrelers. Easily taking care of business there. And the dwarfs are starting to falter in the mainline fight. My Goblin army is overwhelming them, and then with the leadership of Skarsnik and Gobbler there, who just ate himself a dwarf, we were able to push back the main dwarf line. So there you go, decisive victory over Brock the Ironpick. All right, sweet, another decisive defeat of our enemies with some fantastic loot coming off that. We are really banking up some serious teeth that'll go towards the retaking of the 8 peaks. I'm gonna eat the captives from Brock Ironpick, and we will, on the next episode, jump in and go finish off his realms. I'm going to safeguard against chaos, and we currently have Empire driven away from our lands, which is pretty nice. I'm going to clear Wa target. Hopefully that'll get my army to quit raiding my own lands and then come back in my direction. So yeah, we're in pretty good position to move up and take out the dwarfs here. Let's see if maybe we can assassinate this Thane to end it on. Oh yeah, we sure can. We sure can. Slapped by Mork. Okay, I finished off his Gutter Fighter. And let's go ahead and do Stalker so we can open up this other stuff. HeirofCarthage signing out. Hope you enjoyed this new campaign format. I'll see you on the next episode. Tell me what you think down in the comments.